Hey everyone, today I'm going to be talking about Amazon PPC campaign structure and display ads. So before we dive in, my name is Sean Smith from ppcamsaccelerator.com, and please hit the like button when you get the opportunity because it would really help my video with the YouTube algorithm. Really appreciate it. Real quick, 1 second, click that like button. All right, so today I want to answer a question from someone who posted a comment. So if you post a comment, I'm most likely going to create a video because a lot of these comments have really good questions, and it allows me to not only help that individual person, but it allows me to help other people as well that might have the same question. So let's hop on in. So this is from Jacob Thigeson. Hello, Sean. Thanks for showing me to write update in the operations file. So how to update the bulk operations file, working with 2 clients, selling products on their behalf, and he's lucky to pray around the PPC. I would love an in-depth video on how to structure and follow your campaigns. What is the importance of display ads? Well, all right. So let's go over the first one right here. I would love an in-depth video. So, I'm not going to make it too in-depth, right? I'm not going to make it to where it's like a half hour long. It'll be a few minutes of kind of going over generally how we structure our campaigns and ad groups. And, it'll give you the general structure that you can apply to your methodologies. So let's go on ahead and hop in. Let me get rid of these right here. So this is one of the systems that we use for in our PPC program and mastermind. This is one of the systems that we use for launching campaigns, and this is how we name them. So how do I structure campaigns and ad groups? Well, here's generally how I like to do it. I like to put the SKU. You could put the ASIN or SKU if you want. I like the SKU because in Seller Central, that's what Amazon uses to identify the product in the advertising bulk file. SKU is right here, number 1, right? The next piece is TCST. What does that mean? It is just an acronym for a process that we have. So one thing I really love to do is I like to name our processes because it allows us to scale. Because if we have processes that work over and over again, we can just roll them out over and over again. So TCST is just an acronym for our processes. So, like if you, for example, let's say you use Helium-10 Cerebro and you do keyword research using that method, using a specific method, you could put H10CR in your campaign name just to say, hey, we used this specific methodology to find these keywords. And then what that does is it allows you to see whether or not that methodology gets results that you're looking for. If it doesn't do very well, you can modify or discontinue the methodology. And if it does well, you can scale it out. Personally, I put the date and the campaign as well. So this is for campaign names and ad group names, right? This is for both. So this is for campaign and ad group names. They're named the same. I put the date in there. The reason I do that, it just allows me to filter by date. So in the search bar in Amazon Seller Central, it'll allow me to search by a specific date so I can see how those campaigns that I launched on that specific date are performing. JH is just an acronym for my consulting business. So when we launch campaigns, we put the acronym for our consulting business in the campaign names. That way we can see the performance of our campaigns versus previous campaigns that were launched. And then the match type. So one thing I really like to do is I like to segment keywords by match type. And what that allows me to do is it allows me to run traffic because each match type has a different function. And so what I want to do is I want to give each match type their own budget because a lot of people use, for example, exact match type for ranking keywords and, hyper-focused targeting. Phrase is a little less targeted, but more targeted than broad. But the great thing about phrase and broad is they bring in new search terms that you can pull from the search term report and test. So that's why I like to break them out by match type. Budget, $6. It's fairly arbitrary, but I like to be very conservative with budgets and scale them up because when you start with really big budgets in the beginning, then sometimes Amazon can be overspending, stuff like that. So we start with smaller budgets, and then when they run out of budget, we'll kind of bump them up over time if they're within KPI. And then this $6, it really depends on your budget as well. So you can keep this or change this. This is our bid calculation. So we use a weighted average cost per click to calculate we use historical cost per click data from the search term report, and we do a weighted average formula to find out what our bid should be. And we're pretty conservative with the bids as well. So that, I would say, is, structure and follow your campaigns. And we do the same thing with product targeting campaigns. Like this is product targeting right here. So we call it like PTST. And another thing a lot of people have questions about, like, do you limit the amount of keywords you put in a campaign? Because some people say you need to put 10 in it because then some of them won't get love. Generally, what we do is we launch our campaigns, right? So we launch our campaigns using our research methodology, and we put all of them in one campaign and the different match types. And then after like 5 to 7 days, what we do is we take the keywords that have 0 impressions and we put them in their own campaign. And then we wait another week, and then we pull from those campaigns, the ones that have 0 impressions, and we roll it out in 2 phases. And, after that 2 phases, you're most likely not going to have a situation where one keyword is just eating up all of it, right? So that's kind of how we do it. So we do it kind of based on ongoing data. That's the way that we kind of do it. Because if you do like 10 keywords per campaign, well, you could put in like 10 keywords, and then one of the keywords is super high volume, and it ends up eating all the budget, and the other ones don't get any love. Or you could put 10 keywords that get no traffic whatsoever. You know what I mean? And so that's why we like to just test it and then roll it out for each one. Because usually the most important keywords and the highest traffic ones will get that traffic initially. All right. Follow your campaigns. Also, one thing to note is the reason we put the SKU in the campaign name and ad group name is because it allows us to filter by SKU in the search term report, because Amazon does not allow you to filter by product in the search term report. All right. Next one. What is the importance of display ads? So I think this is a complicated question. I don't have a ton of experience with display ads personally. I have run them. The tricky part is let's go over like the role that they play in the accounts that I work with. Generally, we see that 70 to 80% of sales come from sponsored products. Another like 10-15% from sponsored brands, and then like 5 to 10% from display ads. So it's one of those things where it really depends on the brand that you're working with. So with display ads, you have to know what they're being used for. They're different than sponsored products, right? Sponsored products is bottom of funnel, and it really is the rank driver. It really is the one that is it can be a lot leaner because it helps with keyword rank and all that stuff. With display ads, it serves a different purpose. And so you have to figure out, hey, does the brand that I work with want to roll out display ads? And if so, how much? Because, it's different, right? Like if you're doing like VCPM, where you're doing like viewable impressions, you're top of funnel right there, right? Sponsored products is bottom of funnel. So you have to say to yourself, hey, do I want to do any top of funnel brand awareness advertising? So display ads, they serve a different role in the advertising ecosystem. So, keep that in mind as you roll out display ads. I know I don't have a hard answer on that one. And that's just because, I have most experience with sponsored products. Sponsored brands have been around for a while, sponsored brands video as well. But with display ads, it's one of those things where it's a little different. Product display ads have been around for a while as well. But it generally isn't the majority. So, and then think in terms of launching display ads, think about what part of the funnel do you want to target. Like if you do sponsored display product targeting and you optimize for conversions, you're really hitting bottom of funnel. Or if you do purchasers remarketing, like a good example of a good way to use them is with consumable products, right? If you have consumables and you have a product being bought every 30 days, well, then you can set up a campaign that's called purchases remarketing, and you could target people every 30 days, right? And then you can basically say, hey, if somebody has bought it 30 days or more, then show the ad to those people, my specific product, right? So that's like more bottom of funnel that's trying to get, and that could help with conversion rate as well. So, thinking about, what I recommend doing with display ads is work from the bottom of the funnel your way up. That's what I would do. And, be conservative with your testing and be smart with your budgets. That's what I would say with display ads. And, they're just a different ad type and they serve a different role. And, man, thank you for following along. If you want to connect, man, book a call with me. We can chat, I always put my link to my schedule in the comments of these videos. All right, guys, thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you haven't already, please click the like button. Really, really helps me out. And if you're interested in my Amazon PPC program and mastermind, I will put a link to book a call with me and we can just chat. You know what I mean? See if I can help you out and see if we can work together. Maybe get you some better results.